Hey guys, it's VTGamerGirl11 back with another video. This is going to be an update video on my life in general, also about my leg. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm in my friend's house, so that's why there's a different background, so ignore that. But when it comes to my leg, I did go back for a checkup, and I took video of it, but I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to post that video or not. But I did go back, and he told me that everything was good. I don't have to go back to the doctor's anymore unless I have an issue, and I can go back up to 3 months. Even though I don't have insurance anymore, it's all covered for 3 months. So if I have any problem, I can go back and he could look at it and figure out like what we need to do. But as of right now, everything's going good. I did have one issue, which is kind of disgusting, so warning. Basically one night I came out of the shower and I was looking at one of my like incisions, because I have one on each side, and I'll try to show you that in a minute. But on one side where the small incision's at, it looked like there was this piece of dry skin. It was like this, it looked like dry skin. And then I got closer to it, you know, like with dry skin, normally it flakes off. Well, I tried to get it to come off and it wouldn't. So that's when I started to think, okay, this could be a stitch, because he told me they were dissolvable stitches. But so then in the back of my head, I'm like, well, if they're dissolvable stitches, why can I only see this one? And I couldn't see, like, that was the only one I could see. The rest of them are basically underneath where your incision is at, so you can't see it. So I'm starting to freak out because there's kind of this little hole, like, where that scab slash scar slash incision was at. And that's where I saw that little piece, which looked like dental floss. And at the time, I did not know, like, what dissolvable stitches look like. So I looked it up online to get pictures of it. Realized it basically looks like clear plastic wire or like dental floss basically. And so I realized that's what it was. I start freaking out. But the doctor did tell me that that could happen, and if that happens I could take it out myself, and he told me how to do it. So I tried doing that. It took me forever. I could not get it to come out. Basically when I saw it, there was only about a millimeter sticking out of where my skin was at. And by the time I finished pulling on it, it was literally like 1.5 inches long. And by that point, it got to, I guess, there was more of it, but I couldn't get the rest of it to come out, so I just, like, cut that part off. And then I put rubbing alcohol where my incision was at and where the rest of the stitch was at. And decided I was just going to call the doctor and go in tomorrow and they could take the rest of it out, because I couldn't get the rest of it out. So I wake up in the morning, I call the doctor before I look at it. I call the doctor, try to set up an appointment, and basically my doctor wasn't there that day because they like split days there, and there's like a couple days where they're in the hospital doing surgeries, and then another couple days where they're in the office. So basically they weren't there. I got mad because I didn't really need to see him to get a stitch out. I figured like a nurse could do that or a medical assistant. If you see flashing, I'm watching the Maryland basketball game, so that's the TV. I'm sorry. I just noticed that. But I kind of got mad. I literally asked him, I'm like, you don't have one person there that can take a stitch out? I mean, that would take like 5 minutes. And I know I was kind of being a little selfish, but I'm the type of person that extremely freaks out over stuff like that, and I know it's kind of contradictory because if that's a word, because I contradicted myself. Basically because I pulled the stitch out. So you think if I could pull a stitch out that stuff like that wouldn't bother me, but it does. So I'll try to get to go back in, and she ended up having to ask like if anybody in there could do that. By the time she got an answer, which was like 2 or 3 hours later, I decided to take the band-aid off, look at it. I mean, I was so freaked out over that night, I'm not kidding, I did not sleep, period. I was laying in bed, I never fell asleep. So basically, by the time they opened, I called. I'm waiting for them to call me back. I'm the type where I don't want to look at it because I'm like afraid I'd mess something up farther. But I finally took the band-aid off, and realized that apparently the rubbing alcohol dissolved the stitch because it was not there anymore. Also, I noticed that, like, I don't know, it wasn't there anymore, and granted, when I did pull it out, it didn't bleed or anything. So it was healed. There was nothing wrong with it. It just needed to come out, and it didn't dissolve, because I'm one of those special people where dissolved stitches apparently take forever to dissolve in the body. So, anyway, he told me, like, some people, it could take months. So, as we speak, I probably still have dissolvable stitches in me, I just can't feel them. So, anyway, now that I noticed that it dissolved, there was still like a little opening, like where the incision was at, which kind of freaked me out because it looked like it might need a butterfly stitch. So I thought I might go back for that, but then I'm like, I'm not going to bother their time just over something really simple and stupid like that. So I didn't even bother. So I just waited for a few days. I'm like, if it gets infected or starts hurting or something, because it wasn't even hurting or anything, I'm like, I'll just go in like a week or two later if it doesn't heal right. So 3 days later, I'm serious, like the whole thing where it was at one time like a scab, plus where the stitch was at, plus how it was open just healed completely. I was in shock. So I'm not suggesting do that yourself if you have a similar issue, but that's my experience. So I was very happy about that, and actually ever since then, it's healed a lot better. So, in other words, I'm doing good. I don't go to physical therapy anymore, not because I don't need it. I still need physical therapy, but I don't have insurance anymore. So I can't go to physical therapy. So basically, I'm on my own schedule when it comes to physical therapy, which is not good because I'm lazy. So basically, I still have problems with my ankle. I cannot lift heavy things. I can lift them and like put them down on the floor or move them a little bit, but I can't like move them a long distance or go downstairs with them. My laundry is downstairs, and I literally can't even take a laundry basket because I mean, my laundry baskets are full when I take them downstairs. So I can't even take a laundry basket downstairs at the moment because my ankle is still weak. It's getting stronger, but it's not 100% yet, and I probably could if I tried. But just out of safety precautions, I'd try to prevent doing that as much as possible. But I only have to do my laundry like once every 2 weeks because I have a bunch of clothes. So basically what I do when I do my laundry is I take the laundry basket, I go to the stairs, and this might sound really stupid, but I basically start walking down the stairs and I just like drag the laundry basket down with me. That's how I get my laundry done. And then at the end, I normally drag it back up these stairs. But, it's kind of funny. People laugh at me. But anyway, that's an update. If you guys want to see these scars, I'm going to try to show you. So, this is going to move because it's my computer. Sorry. But I'm going to try to get like a side view here. So, I have these long socks on today because my long incision has been itching like hell, not because of the incision, but because I was scratching so much around there that I basically created like a scratch, which is like itching like hell. So I put that over it to protect it. If you can see right here, this is the little incision. I don't think you guys can see that. Get in the picture, Jessica. Yeah, it goes from here to here. You can't really see it very well. I tried to get it in the light, but then you couldn't see it at all because it was really blurry. You probably can't see this at all, which is good. That's a past scar. Ignore that. But it was down here, right where the stitch was coming out. As you can see, it's completely healed now. So that's about 1 inch long. And what they did was they just went over the same incisions that they used when they put the screws and plates in. So now we're going to switch to the other side, or try to. Let me put this down on the floor. Maybe that'll make it easier. Yeah, there we go. Alright, here's the other side. And let's see if I can do this. It goes from here all the way up to there, as you can see. I don't know how many stitches I got. They never told me. They were dissolvable, as I said, but as you can tell, it's still like not completely. It's obviously a scar. It can get lighter, like the one I had previously when they put the pins and screws in. Pins and screws. Plates and screws in, excuse me. It got lighter than this, so this is not completely like dimmed its way out yet, but it's kind of weird when you feel it because it's like bumpy. And when I first got them out, you can literally put your finger here and like kind of like go down it gently, and you could feel like where the holes were in my bones from where they took the screws out. So I could like go down and be like, there's a hole there, there's a hole there, there's a hole there, and my friend just thought it was so freaking hilarious. But at the same time, like, he thought it was really disgusting. So, but anyway, I don't suggest doing that, but I had to feel it just because it's really nice. I had to feel it to know the fact that the screws weren't there, even though they handed them to me. So I had to know that. So I basically just went over it to make sure, even though I had them in my hand. And it feels really good once you get them out. Basically, all of my issues that I have with my foot on this side, from a screw that was in this side, once he took it out, all that went away. I have mobility back. It's just not 100% at the moment because I haven't been doing physical therapy. But, yeah. So, obviously, still have work to do with that. So, stay tuned. I probably will do another update video on it, but it'll probably be in about a month or two. I do an update on whether or not, like, the weakness has gone away type thing. So, yeah, my friend just got back, so I'll let you guys go, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this update and have a great day and the rest of the week.